Navigation lists. In GP 2010 and 2013, one of the new features that was added was the addition of lists. And lists you will find when you click on your ledger pages. So if I click on my financial, you'll see you have got a range of lists here, same for sales and purchasing. So to show you some of the functionality you can use lists for, I'm going to use the sales ledger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a list of my debtors with their balances and then print a trial balance for a range of debtors. Then I'm going to drill down to those debtors and be able to view the transactions, and you can do multiple things from there. So I'm going to start with my debtors. So here we have a list of all my debtors that I have set up within the system. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this display to only show the balances. So I'm going to save as debtor balances. So I'm now going to customize this to change the columns that appear. So I'm going to click on my columns and add in the current balance, take out the phone number and contact, and move the debtor ID up. So you can see now I have a list of all my debtors and their balance. I'm going to narrow that down to only show my debtors where the current balance is not 0. And I'm going to sort it on that column descending. So now I have that information, I'm going to save it. And you'll see it's created a favourite underneath my lists. So as I click on each of these, what you'll see is that the information down the bottom changes, and I can click on the hyperlink and it shows me the record. And I can also scroll through a range of different reports and view them What I want to do though is I want to pick a random range to do a trial balance. So I'm going to pick the first one, second one, and then fourth, fifth and sixth. So I can go to my reports and I'm going to print a trial balance in detail. And so the benefit you have to using lists is that you can pick a random range. It doesn't have to be sequential. So you see there it's printed out the trial balance for the random range that I selected. Alternatively, if I wanted to put that particular debtor on hold because their balance is too high, I can mark apply hold, and you see it notifies me to say a hold's been put on. Just click refresh. What you'll see after I click refresh is that now appears with a mark as hold. What I can also do from here is I can go in and I can apply any sales documents I have. I have none for that one particular debtor. So it saves me having to chop and change between lots of different screens to get into actions that I want to do. I can also age from here. I can also print statements for that particular debtor if I wanted to. And if you use the credit control module, I can then go in to collections management from here. But let's say I want to have a look at the documents that make up that balance. I can mark that. I can go to view the transactions. And what it'll then do is actually show me a list of all the transactions for that one particular debtor. And I can see, I can add a filter to only show invoice. Or I can remove the filters and have a complete list again. I can double click and it shows me the original record. If I do the same on this particular debtor, I can drill down, view the transactions. What I can also do is I can mark an invoice and email it directly from this window. Alternatively, I can do that for arrange. If the transactions are unposted, I can also post them. I can also create a new invoice for this particular debtor directly from there. When I've actually done my lists, what I can then do is on my home page, if this is something I want to use on a regular basis, what I can do is I can add the navigation list for my debtors onto my home page. And so rather than having to go to the list, I can simply click on it from here. And it shows me my favourite list.